the psychic that she had seen had foretold like some of her future partners.
Yeah, now it's been like 3 months later, so
what are the effects?
Yeah, and like it's been very interesting, you know, because I think I've always been very skeptical of the tarot readings, the psychic readings. I never wanted to get one because I didn't want to live things into existence, especially if it was something bad. But the
experience that you had was
pretty positive.
Yeah.
Good. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of
Just One Bite.
I'm one of your hosts, Tiff at Take One for the Road.
And I'm Nina at Psychofood. And it is a mystical,
moonbeam ice cream taking a... No, we're going to talk about something, I guess magical, kind of. We're going to today talk about tarot readings, psychic readings,
our experiences with them. I feel like Tiff had a more recent experience, which if you've been listening to the podcast, like she's briefly mentioned like here and there, because some of it had to deal with dating. For people who might need a refresher on like what your psychic had told you, would you be able to like share?
I actually remembered like she let me record like a voice memo of the entire reading.
Yeah, that's pretty generous.
So, and then Nina just kind of showed me like that you can transcript it on your phone. So that was really cool. But basically the gist was, you know,
where were you?
I was in New Orleans. We were at the French market, and my friend Kat bought me a psychic reading because I think around that time I was like sad about my like the recent end of my situationship, and Kat was like, I'm gonna buy you a psychic reading, and so that it kind of helps. I think I was just worried because, you know, I'm at an older age where I'm like, when is it gonna be my turn? When am I gonna meet my person? So it was really nice of Kat to pay for me to get that, to kind of help ease my mind, you know? And so, you know, especially in NOLA, there's a lot of people doing tarot readings, psychic readings, even on the street.
Yeah, but I feel like that's such a vibe.
Yeah, it's very NOLA, and I love it there. And
NOLA's the city.
Yeah, so New Orleans. And you know, so we were at the French market just like shopping around, and we see this lady, I think her name was Audrey. She's like this older lady. Her eyes are kind of like cloudy, so I was like,
ooh, she looks more mysterious.
Yeah,
she definitely has seen things.
She's seen things, you know. I mean, it's either that or the glaucoma, but I'm pretty sure. No. You know, so yeah, and then she had a little piece of paper that kind of like described her, because, you know, she was booked back to back to back. Like there's a line for her. People were writing down their names and stuff, and she's like, come back in 20 minutes, things like that. And it basically said, you know, like she's been the French market's only psychic reader for the last 30 years.
Wow.
She's been doing this for 50 years. She teaches tarot classes, and she's worked with police.
Wow.
So it just seemed a little bit more legitimate. So we signed up. I go for my psychic reading, and she like has me, you know, like I have to hold her hand. She holds my right hand because she says that's how energy flows and things like that. And then she has me cut the cards, and then she starts like flipping, and, you know, so the three main categories we focus on was relationships, work, and health. And so I'll start with the not as juicy stuff first. So when it comes to, you know, like work, she kind of just went over it and was like, okay, I can see you're really like successful at your job, yada yada yada, and you like your job, things like that. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I don't love what I do, but I love like the work-life balance it gives me. And she says, you know, and I asked her too, like, do you see me staying at this job forever, or like moving on to something else in the future? And she's like, to be honest, I see that you're successful no matter where you go, like in terms of work and career wise. And then she also did say she could see I'm a workaholic, and I was like, yeah, I like definitely keep myself busy, and I do overwork myself, not in, you know, my normal 9 to 5, but my like social media stuff. I actually, after the psychic reading, I kind of was like, oh shoot, I didn't really ask her about my like social media stuff, like, am I gonna take off one day, like is my engagement gonna be better, all those things. But my friend, I was like telling my friends, and then Angel was like, you know, it's probably best you didn't ask her that, because at the end of the day, this is like your creative passion. And what if she said something like, oh, I don't see it doing that well or something? Like, you would just be so devastated and give up now. But like, clearly this is something that makes you happy. So it's, you know,
the unknown is better.
It's better. Yeah. So I was like, okay, fair point. And so then we talked about health, and then she was basically like, you know, I feel like do your legs and feet hurt? Like, do you have feet pain? Things like that. And at first I was like, what? And then I was like, wait, that makes sense, because my feet had been hurting all weekend because we were going out and stuff. And the thing is, what's crazy is like, this usually, like, I'm used to like wearing heels and stuff out in Vegas, Miami, and my feet don't hurt that bad. But for some reason, New Orleans, my feet it hurt so bad after the first night we went out. When I came home, I could barely take a shower. Like, wow. It was like, it felt like 1,000 needles are going up my feet every time I stepped on the hardwood floor.
I wonder what it was like.
Yeah, I don't know, because you know, like, normal, like, if you go clubbing and stuff, your feet hurt, but it's not like, it doesn't feel like 1,000 needles are going into your feet kind of pain. But this was a different kind of pain. But this was like a few nights before the reading, and I kind of forgot about it. But then when she brought up the feet hurt, I was like, wait, I think it has to do with that incident, because it was so painful for me to even walk into the shower and walk out of the shower. So that was really fascinating. And then she also said, I'm dehydrated, I need to drink more water, which she's not wrong, because I always forget to drink water, and I'm very dehydrated. But yeah, and then we talk about relationships, and let me pull up the reading, because maybe I can play some things. So basically, she was like pulling out these cards, and the first card was like this person on the ground with a ton of swords stabbed through them, and she was like, oh,
that's you. No,
yeah. She was like, it looks like you've been like really hurt. And I was like, yeah, I definitely have been really hurt.
Right,
yeah, like in the last relationship, definitely. And then, but she's like, but I could see you're starting to open up a little bit. You're a little more open-minded. And then she said something that was interesting to me. She's like, because I told her I was a Pisces, and she says, Pisces quite often feel like, hey, nobody loves me for me. But you know, it's Pisces that they have to be careful, because it's a sign of the martyr, and you don't want to be martyrs, because martyrs die horrible deaths. Ooh. And it's like, don't you want them to become, I don't know. It was very interesting. But she says, and so keep in mind, this was in April. This was 3 months ago. And she's like, it looks like somebody's going to be coming into your life. And you know, I was like telling her how I had just ended things with the Cybertruck guy. And then she goes, I see someone coming into your life. How about within the next couple of 2 to 5 months? Doesn't necessarily mean it's end all be all, but I tell you, have fun, honey. So I was like, this kind of struck something in me, because I was like, she was telling me to have fun and stuff, and it's not gonna be endgame. And for me, it's like, you know, I'm older, all my friends are getting engaged, having children.
Why should I wait?
Yeah. And also it's like, I'm done having fun. I don't need to have fun anymore. I want to like meet my person and settle down. So I think
2 to 5 months. When did you have your New Orleans thing? It was April.
Beginning of April.
Yeah. So now it's like,
so
it's been 2-3 months now.
It's been 3 months now. Wow. And so update with that. So basically, you know, later that month in April, my family tried to set me up with someone, and then they like left me on red receipt. And then
the person, not the family.
Yeah. And then like recently, you know, I thought I really hit it off with someone at this event. And they like got
at
all
the
my
dinner party, if you guys remember
they
that.
got all my contact info and stuff. And then they're just, all these guys, they just always watch my stories, but then they don't do anything with it. And it's like frustrating, because it's like, why'd you go all the way, like why'd you do all of that just to not do anything once you get my contact?
Maybe they like see your life and they're like, wow, she's so exciting, they don't need me.
Well, I can make your life more, I mean,
people sometimes could be scared of it, but it's not you.
I'm not intimidating, guys. Yeah. Like, yeah, I live a fun, fulfilling life, but we could live an even more fun, fulfilling life together. My dad always says, like, you know, you're good at having fun, Tiffany. That's all you're good at. I was like, well, he's not wrong. Yeah, so then
the reading.
Yeah, the reading. I think I was basically like, you know, when am I going to meet my person? And then she was like, basically, I think within the next 4 years, I think you'll be in a very committed relationship.
Yeah, and this is in terms of, because she had asked, like, what about, like, the long-term partner? Because she was asking, like, okay, well, there seems to be a short-term person 2 to 5 months from now, but what about, like Tiff's future? Like, who is the long term after that?
Yeah, and so she basically was like, I see you in a long term committed relationship within the 4 years. And I said within, not 4 years from now. Like, it could be tomorrow. I don't think it is, but does that make sense? And I said yes. And then so I also just, you know, told her, I was like worried, like, what if I don't have, like, you know, because all my friends are having kids. Like, I obviously want to have kids. And, you know, as girls, we have biological clock, things like that. And then she was like, you know, if you're meant to have children, you will have children. Don't base your life on what other people have, because aren't you enjoying your life, you know? And I was like, yeah, no.
My soul.
Yeah, I was like, okay, good point. But yeah, so basically, I guess I have an update for you guys in terms of the 2 to 5 months. So now we're at the 3-month mark, and when I was in Sandy, or should I say?
Yeah. I mean,
okay. Yeah. So
he was just a 2 to 5 month guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess now that it's 3 months, like I think the psychic was right. I did recently meet someone, you know, and like she says, it might not be end game, but to have fun. And I think, you know, so I went to San Diego recently to visit my friends for 4th of July holiday, and the day before 4th of July, so that night we went out to Gaslamp and we were bar hopping, and then at one of the bars, my friend Anna was playing beer pong with a ton of strangers. Me and my friend Emily went to grab some drinks at the bar, and then afterwards, I think Emily and one of our friends, Michael, was having conversation, and I guess they said that I disappeared for a bit, and then they ended up finding me at the bar with one of the guys that I think Anna was playing beer pong with. So there's like a group of them, and I ended up at the bar with one of them. And yeah, I met a really nice guy that night. And he's like tall, dark, and handsome. He's so attractive, and he's like so sweet. And I guess, you know,
he was good looking. She sent it.
He's got nice teeth, and you know, that's like my thing.
Yeah, she sent a picture to me and my boyfriend, and we were like, Tiff, what the heck?
Yeah, he's very attractive, and he's very nice. And I think that night we just like really hit it off. I guess like the first thing I told him is like, you know, he's like double my size. Yeah. But you know me, I'm like, my friends call me Tiffkeela. And I definitely had some tequila that night, and I was feeling very bold and confident. And I was like, I went up to him, I guess, and I was like, I bet I can drink more than you. I bet I can drink you.
Was he just like not minding his own business, and you were like,
no, I think so what he was telling me later was that one of my friends had mentioned that I was like single, but he thought I wasn't interested at first. But I guess I like turned around and was like, I like challenged him. I was like, I bet, like, let's go shot for shot. I bet I can outdrink you.
Oh.
So he got us some drinks at the bar and stuff. I definitely did not go shot for shot with him or whatever, but it was a great like opener, I guess. And then I think, you know, later that night he kind of went out with me and my friends to the streets, because I think Anna was hungry, so she bought like a couple of danger dogs.
So was he with other people and he did?
Yeah, I think he like left his friends, and we were just like walking around outside, because I guess I'm a runner. I was like trying to get my steps in. Michael told me every time the light would turn green, I would cross the street.
Oh my
God. He was like, but you would only do it on the green when it's like time to walk. And I was like, I guess I must have been trying to get my steps in. And then Anna was like, she got 2 danger dogs. You know, the hot dogs that are like outside on the street after like events and stuff. So the first one was whatever, but then she found the second guy, this vendor, he puts a whole jalapeno on top of your danger dog, which is, you don't see that ever. She said it was so good. So they were basically saying Anna inhaled it, and because it was so good, she started selling this guy's hot dogs. She was like influencing people from like the crowds and like the like people being like, buy this guy's hot dogs. It's the best hot dogs. Blah, 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 blah. It was so funny. And I guess like, I don't know, even like drunk me still is trying to work and create food content because I apparently took a 30-second video of the vendor making the hot dog, but it was obviously bad lighting because it's nighttime, and it was slow-mo.
Nice.
A 30-second slow-mo video of the man making a hot dog and putting on the toppings.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then apparently I saw a homeless man and I tried to give him money, and apparently he rejected my money. He like took the sleeping bag and left my money on the ground.
Aww.
And I've never been so humbled in my life. Like, I've been rejected by men, and that's already like not the best feeling, but to be rejected by a homeless man when I'm trying to give him $10 so he can like get a good meal and stuff, that's a whole different feeling. And I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, I feel like usually people who are experiencing like homelessness, like I've had volunteer like before, because I had this volunteer service once where like it was the observation of the people who are in like shelters or in communities who have a lot of people who experience like homelessness, and there's like a way that it's like kind of ran, you know, but a lot of the times like some people are like not looking for help, you know, like they kind of already understand their situation, and then sometimes when they feel like they receive help from people that they don't know or who they're not asking for help, they're kind of like standoffish and they kind of feel like you're like pitying them. So
that's true.
Yeah, so that's something that like, that's obviously not with all people who experience that, but that is like kind of a feeling sometimes, because they do get help from like other people. Actually it depends on where you are, because I think some cities are a bit more like gracious towards like people, but sometimes those people are just like, I don't really want like your help, I didn't ask for it. And that's kind of something out of like respect for them, where they're like, they feel like they need to put that boundary, like, hey, I'm not asking for it, and I would rather not have you like feel like this interaction or whatever. Yeah, so that's like that could have been like an explanation. Maybe. But don't like feel like too bad.
But what's crazy is 2 days later my friends and I were eating ramen somewhere in a plaza for dinner, and this homeless guy tried to fight a different guy because he, I guess, asked for money and the guy didn't have any money on him, and the homeless guy tried to fight him.
Oh no.
And I was like,
did you offer?
No, I didn't have the money on me at the time anymore. Yeah, so I was like, darn, if only I had the $10.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just kind of like the understanding of like where like people kind of come from, like because people who come from like experiencing homelessness, they you don't know their situation. Sometimes it's like something like medical, maybe like
that's a good perspective to have.
Yeah, but like not all people, like especially like the people who like maybe they're not like I think people often think that people who experience homelessness are like they're all like drug addicts or something, but that's not always like the case. Like sometimes it's like that they lost their house, or like maybe they lost their job, which is kind of like more common, and they just don't want to feel like pity, or they don't want like obviously they're like looking for help, but then there are some people out there who are like obviously like super smart people, but they just had really unfortunate things like happen to them, but a lot of those people like know where to go, like if they need like help, or they ask other people within like the homeless community, like how they can receive help, because there's a lot of volunteer people who go out there and like offer food, offer like aid service, and obviously too, like if you imagine too, if it's like someone who's like if they were someone who wasn't experienced homelessness, imagine like someone just coming up to you and like offering something to you, and then you're like even for like a like regular person, you would be like, who the heck like are you, like you're a stranger. So like for the safety of that like person who's experiencing homelessness, the person who's volunteering, the person who's like just a random stranger out in there, like you at the end of the day, everyone's kind of like strangers, so they don't know what your intention are. So like that's why you should always like, yeah, you can volunteer at your like local like shelter or something, you know. So that's just like some forethought. But anyways, the purpose of this was like Tiff had been humbled. She was feeling this way about like but
it was at the end of the day, it was like a nice night, and then we all went home, and then the next day the guy messaged me because I guess we follow each other on Instagram. And yeah, we were just talking. So we went out Thursday night, and then he messaged me Friday, which is July 4th, and we talked through DMs like Friday, Saturday bit, and basically we decided that we'd go on a date on Sunday, which was really cute, before I like head back up to LA and stuff. So he picked me up, he like took us to this cute brunch spot, and we had really great conversations, and the food was so good, and the matcha was so good.
Nice.
And he like paid, and it was really sweet. I don't know, it was just interesting hearing about his life, because he had just moved to San Diego 3 weeks prior. He actually he's in the Marines, so he's like very fit. And he was stationed in Japan the last 3 years. So he just moved to San Diego, and he was like talking about his work and places he's been stationed and travels, things like that. And you know, I talked about my travels too, and it was nice because we could also joke around, and there's like that banter, which I really like and what I look for in a relationship. We talked about like prior relationships a little bit too, and just like, you know, I had told him, I was like, this is interesting because I've actually decentered men the last few months. I was not on the dating apps. I was not trying to date anybody. So maybe it really does come when you're least expecting it. But yeah, and then, you know, I had to leave because I was already late to our party. Nina had a pool party with the Disney girls.
Yes.
And I was already running late. I ended up being like 2 hours late. So
it's okay. Me, Karen, Nate, we were talking about Love Island the entire time. Like, I mean, we were keeping each other updated, but we majority talked about Love Island.
I love that.
Yes.
So he paid. He like dropped me off, and it was cute because when he dropped me off, I was like, in my head, realistically, I didn't know how this would work, right? Because he moved to San Diego. I'm gonna be in LA for pretty much the rest of my life because of my job. He's, you know, in the Marines. He was like telling me about how he might get deployed end of this month and then deployed again for a month like later this year, things like that. So, you know, his schedule is very it's not like permanent kind of. Everything is,
it's like moving, because he's like, that's how it kind of is.
So when he dropped me off, I was like, well, thank you, like this was so lovely. I guess let me know if you're ever in LA or if I'm in San Diego, I'll let you know. And then he was like, what if I just want to come to LA to hang out with you?
That's cool.
Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, that works.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, because I was being a little bit awkward because I was like, I don't know where to go from here.
Yeah.
But it was nice that he said that. And, you know.
Do you have plans next then?
Yeah, so I basically, when I went to, you know, I drove back to Irvine and stuff, and then an hour later I get a DM from him basically saying how this has been like, it was like such a great date that he doesn't remember the last time he's been on a date where he didn't want it to end. Aww. And it was like so awesome, and like thank you for like, you know. And then I was like, that's so sweet, no one's ever said that to me. And so I gave him my number, so now we're texting, and we made plans to see each other next week because I don't work that day. And then he'll be back because I think he flew back home to see his family and celebrate his birthday, so he's not here right now, but he'll be back the day before. So
it's his birthday
tomorrow.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and which is nice too because basically we're born in the same year, so we're similar.
But does that
age.
mean that the next time you see him, it's like you have to do something for his birthday?
Okay, so this is the thing I've realized. For some reason, every time I date a guy, it's always like about to be their birthday. So last year when I started dating PhD guy, it was about to be his birthday, and then I ended up taking him out for lunch and spending like over $100 for him on lunch and things like that. And I was like, at the end of the day, I feel like I spent more money on him than he ever spent on me.
Yikes.
Because he would always just want to cook for us at home and and not really want to go out.
Maybe
and then when
he uses like some really cool truffle oil.
No. But yeah, so it's just like I didn't really like I don't mind home cooked meals and stuff, but when every date is at home and it's just like you're just cooking and it's just like a casual cooking, and then like we watch redundant Netflix and we're like hanging out with your senior citizen dog all like every day, I'm like, it just seems like it's more of a convenience to you. Yeah, it's not really you taking me out on a date. So there's that. And then with the Cybertruck guy, also like a month after we started dating, it was his birthday, but I didn't do anything for his birthday because I learned my lesson. Like, don't do anything for a guy's birthday if you guys aren't like exclusive or in a relationship. So I didn't do anything for his birthday. I was also gone for his birthday, but when I came back, we we drank, but I didn't we just like got a handle and drank at home. Like I didn't pay for anything because I was like, I learned my lesson. So I think even this time around, I guess it's a little bit different because this Marine guy is, he just seems like a better guy overall too, but I don't want to do anything like big for him or anything, because we literally just met and we've only met once. I think that's too detached. It's too soon. I'm trying to not get attached. I'm trying to detach.
No, I mean like it's detached in the sense that like you don't know him that well, so it's like it's already not that. Yeah, you're not friends.
Like I'll wish him a happy birthday tomorrow, and then when I do see him, like I can always like get us some like ice cream or something, so I don't know, but I'm assuming he'll either come to LA for the day or like I can meet him in OC or something.
What did you feel like since this is stemming from like the reading about like 3 to 5 months of meeting someone, what did you feel like you got from like meeting this person? Like
I feel like it's kind of nice because it just validates like, oh, I guess she was right. And then for me, it gives me peace of mind too, because now that this has technically come true, that means everything she said possibly could come true or has a higher chance of coming true. Like me being in a loving, like committed relationship with like a long-term one within the next 4 years. It gives me hope. Yeah. And I think I'm so glad I got this reading done, because now I have like peace of mind, and also it's been a nice reset knowing that, what Audrey is saying, like just have fun with it. And I think for me, dating hasn't been the most fun. This has been a nice reset for me to see like, oh, there are still great guys out there. Yes. Dating can be fun. I shouldn't just be going into it being like, nah, like this is not realistic, I'm not gonna marry him. Like I'm trying to be actually even more open-minded than before, seeing like just putting better energy out there, and then I don't know, just staying more positive too, because I guess there are good guys out there. Maybe you needed like this person as a way to like shift your energy, because maybe the psychic knew that you were in like the same patterns, in a rut, of thinking, LA dating, and because this one, she kind of gave you some guidance. It helped you like see that there's reassurance in that, but then also you needed like a change of pace.
So it was just a redirect. So that's nice to hear from the psychic.
Yeah. So shout out to Audrey. Honestly, if I can find her information, I don't even know if she has social media. She's a lot older, but if you go to the French Market in New Orleans, definitely get a psychic reading from her. I think it's definitely worth it. Yeah, but anyways, I know you've gotten some tarot readings done lately.
Yeah, it's not like in depth to the point where it's like Tiff's, where I feel like she really was, she encountered someone really cool. Well, the person who was really cool was my friend, but our friend Fook, he got in deck during Christmas season. So I'm referring, that's the last tarot reading that I got. But he had received like a new deck, and then he was just kind of practicing on it. And so one of the things that he told me back in like December was like, you're doing something like creatively that the reading is based, or the cards are saying that you should keep doing. And at the time, I just like decided that I wanted to talk about how I could not get the Labubu Coca-Cola for the life of me because it was not available in the US at the time. And so I just really wanted it because it was so cute. And then I was just expressing my frustration on TikTok about it, and I just made like a dumb video. I was literally like, I'm pretty sure I was in bed, put a green screen behind me, and then the green screen was of the Coca-Cola thing and me just ranting. And then for some reason it did get a lot of views. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll do another like update, because someone in the comments was like, oh, like they just asked a question and I had responded to that question with another video. And I think at the time I only made like 2 or 3 videos about like Labubu or something. And then Fook was like, because he knows me and he's my friend, he was like, I see you posting that on like TikTok and social media, and for me, in my opinion, I actually think you should probably try doing that more. And so from that time, I was like, okay, maybe I'll do a little bit more like Labubu related content. So I started doing like opening more Labubus. I finally got the Coca-Cola Labubu, and then my boyfriend gifted me like the big Zimomo Labubu, and then he got me like another one too. And so I just started getting clothes, doing dress up with Labubus, and posting more of that content. And so I think I just got in a little bit early just to start posting that. And so I think now people now know that I'm someone who likes Labubus and stuff. And it's funny because but going back to the reading with Fook, he said that it was something that could be like successful or like bring good things. So I think now just my content and my personality has been Labubu. So I think that had been a good change that I actually got from the reading. So that's something different. But then I feel like I've been actually on the look to try to find like a good like psychic reading. What about
the one you were telling me earlier today for
so
Aries?
there is a girl that one of our friends, Carl, had recommended to me. It's a lady on YouTube who does tarot readings. Her name is Baba Jolie Guided Messages. And she does guided readings on all the zodiac signs. So I usually just look at the Aries because I'm an Aries, but she does like full in-depth readings for like an hour for each sign, and she does that monthly. Sometimes she might do some bi-weekly segments that feature like a collective reading or something. But then in the recent reading that she had for Aries, she was talking about how like Aries, you're going through like a big decision, and for me, I've been kind of in a weird pickle about like a potential like opportunity that I'm not sure if I should take or not. But I've been a little bit just unsure about this opportunity that has come to me, because the people who are involved I just have a weird gut feeling about it, so it doesn't make me feel confident about taking this opportunity, basically. So anyways, this reading is saying like, oh, you've been pondering this decision, and the guides are just saying like, whatever you decide, it's like up to you. But then it was also talking about my financial like success, and it was saying that my financial success won't come from that big decision that I need to make, and it's from a different opportunity. And then that was like making me think, and I'm like, so do I not take this opportunity because it's not going to bring me financial success? But the whole theme of the whole reading was like, yeah, I'm looking for financial gain, but there's opportunities that are coming my way. Something interesting too, they said that I was gonna be towards like the end of the month, I'd be going to like, I'd be traveling to something near water or around water. And it's funny because I actually am at the end of like this month and beginning to next month, where it's our friends were going to like Joshua Tree, and then we're going to be like, there's a pool there. We're going to another event in Palm Springs where it's a pool bash basically. So it's like water activity. So I was like, oh, okay.
Like the event itself is literally like a music festival in water.
Yeah,
you will
like
be swimming.
Yeah,
so
it's called Splash House for people who like don't know what it is. But it's interesting because I was like, oh, like that actually is like water. And then it was also talking about like relationships might be kind of unbalanced. And so yes, like I do feel like some relationships have been unbalanced, but I was actually thinking about one of our other friends who I know is also in Aries. And so I had remembered that she was talking about how she's been having troubles with like one of her close friends. And I was like, wait, that actually relates to her because she's an Aries and she's having issues like with her friends and just like connecting with them. So I was like, oh, that's wild. And then another like thing that they were saying was like, oh, someone in your family is like sick or something's like maybe wrong with them. And then this other friend had something similar like happen. Like they were telling us about like her relative who they've had some like bad like things like happen to them recently, like in their health. So it was just, and I know she's an Aries, so I was like, hey, that's literally part of this reading. It's just interesting because even if it what this Baba Jolie is saying wasn't resonating with me in that aspect in all forms, I was like, oh wait, that's actually wild because that's true for another person I know. And then another thing, they were like, what was it? I feel like I was talking about something else like in that reading. Oh yeah, it was just the water, the family, the job, or just like opportunity. And then yeah, it was just mostly like and it also told me that I have to be careful of my like cortisol like levels. And she's like pointing to the digestive tract being like, I'm kind of like high stress. So something that I've been trying to do is take more like magnesium like glycinate, which is like to help calm you a little bit. So because I'm getting basically bloated from this. So I was like, interesting.
Cortisol, obviously it can do a number on in your health. It's insane.
Yeah, so that's like something that she was like advising in the reading. But there was like a lot of stuff that I was like hearing that I was like, oh yeah, I definitely like relate to what she's talking about. And she does readings like this often, so if you guys do have a chance to check her out, like she does like some really long readings that are like an hour long, but I think it's worth it because I mean you can just like listen to it and then listen to it again, because I've watched it like 2 or 3 times now, because something I'm like I have to like remember, and maybe it didn't click before. So she does really good like readings, and I feel like she has no face in her reading. And then right at the beginning of the video she's like this is my only channel, like I'm never gonna like ask you to pay or whatever. And she seems like she's like genuine in that way. So I was like, oh, seems like a good reader.
That's good. Yeah, because sometimes you worry, are you gonna get scammed? Are these people legitimate?
And something going into readings that I think all people should know is that you can take it how you see it and fits with you, and you don't have to stress about everything relating to you. But also don't be closed off to that nothing is going to be real, because sometimes it might come true, and sometimes
it comes in a different form that maybe you wouldn't recognize as what that statement pertains to. But if you are open-minded and flexible about the statement or the definition of something,
it's like really serving as guidance, you know. It's not like you have to be like, this is my future. Like future can always change, like you're in charge of your like own destiny and stuff, but like you can there's some right to like hearing all perspectives, you know. And sometimes like these readers too, they're not like trying to tell you off or anything, but sometimes they might say like really general information. Like for example with like the cortisol stuff, she was like saying like, I'm not medically trained or anything, but
like that could pertain to everybody.
Yeah, but then
so
it's just
general,
like, it is true that like for someone like me, like I am like stressed, and it is like serving as good guidance to be like, hey, you should like take some time to relax or something. So there's always some benefit for whoever you meet. But I've been trying to look for like an actual reader. Like I want to be with someone in person.
I've had friends like
here in SoCal as well.
Yeah, like Gianna, she and her friends have gotten readings, and it's apparently like pretty legit.
Yeah. Well, I need to know.
We'll have to have Gianna on one day on the pod. She can tell you all the stories. Some of them are pretty insane.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like sometimes I'm still skeptical too. Like obviously not Audrey. Like love Audrey, love you. Thank you for telling me my future, whatever. But you know, I think my mom told me she went to see a psychic once, and they basically told her. They said I would be okay in life, like I'll do just fine, but my sister will be like very successful and very rich later on in life.
Ooh.
Yeah, so while I'm really happy for my sister, in my head I'm like, so does that mean I'm not gonna ever be rich?
Or she's the one who's rich for you, and then you don't need to do anything.
Probably not. But yeah, so then sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, and then when I was dating Cybertruck, he told me his mom got a psychic reading too, and basically the psychic told her that Cybertruck would be like very rich later in his life as well. So I was like, are they just telling that to all the like second child? Because he's also the second child. Sure. So yeah, so sometimes I'm still a little bit skeptical.
Yeah, and it's okay to be skeptical, because you're like, you don't know what you don't want to like be too gullible in things, and obviously to the readers know like maybe not everything will resonate, but and sometimes even like what they say might not be like they're not even sure what the clarification, like some of these readings too, like in the one that I was listening for Baba Jolie, she was like talking about like something in the world. She was actually going like, if you guys don't want to talk about like something economical or like the current events, like feel free to scroll. But one of the things that they said is that there's something really monumental happening like in our time, and it's not saying it was like really great or anything, it's just like a big moment, and it's gonna kind of switch up the game for us economically. And then I think in like November time, it's gonna like sort of be lifted or whatever. So I'm curious on what that is. Something big, monumental, I guess, in this time. Not to be like too political or anything, but like right now, like the huge talks are about the tariffs and stuff. And so that's kind of like what's been happening right now. So hopefully, like by November, it'll be a bit more chill. But yeah, but she,
I hope so.
Yeah, but she was even saying like, we don't know what even the prediction of maybe it being in November is not really like certain. You never know.
Yeah.
But even for you, where the reader was telling you like it's 2 to 5 months and
that you'll meet someone, but they might not be your end game, but go have fun with it.
Yeah, but she wouldn't know like exact like timeline. But yeah, you just got to be like open to like receiving.
I'm always curious how they receive these
readings.
They like, sometimes like, is it a vision? Is it like, what do they see in the vision?
I think it's like a feeling, you know. And then I think they put a lot of trust into the universe and like the energies like around us. And then they if they're trying to like think of a question or put it into terms, that's why things like tarot cards, angel numbers, all that stuff are all like serving as like helping to guide like the energy and seeing like what direction to take. So that's where I feel like they get that, but obviously I don't know like too much. I'm definitely super interested, but
so I'm like, I always thought like maybe it's like, you know, That's a Raven, she like
maybe some people like, have you guys seen like Tyler Henry, the medium?
Yes, he seems really good.
Yeah, he seems really like genuine. Like my mom and I have watched him like for years, like, and it's, for those who don't know, he's basically like this like medium who reads he got famous from reading like celebrities and stuff, but then he also did a show on Netflix that's
He can
also
talk
for the regular.
to the dead, essentially.
Yeah, he basically can talk to the people who have passed, and then people who are like related to you, and even pets too. Like he can like relate, like he's done Janet Jackson,
Khloe Kardashian, and her dad.
Yeah, that one was very like interesting. And then there was even this one guy, I can't remember who it is, but there was a guy that he had a reading on, and he was like, the guides are telling me that there might be some like heart condition and something like dealing with like this area, and it's just the guides are saying just watch out for it, because even people who are like who've passed on, they're interconnected to whoever's like on the higher ups, and some other energies might come in. But basically Tyler Henry was like telling this celebrity like, hey, there's something that they're saying that might be dealing with the heart or chest area, and just be careful from it. And then like a few months later, he actually had passed, or maybe like a year later,
from the heart
thing, like whatever. I think he had either a stroke or it was like a heart attack or something, but he had passed from whatever, like the direction that he was saying that Tyler Henry was mentioning. And it was just so like astonishing for people, because they were like, wow, the prediction was like true. Yeah, but then for me, like, I'm not sure if I would be super comfortable with encountering like a medium.
I think it depends on what the purpose is, because I think he did Kristen Cavallari.
Oh yeah,
so she's from, is it The Hills?
Yeah, like
kind of that realm.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was something along the lines of her brother had passed, and they had Tyler come in and kind of help give the family closure, because the Kristen's brother was, he's not old or anything, he's like younger. It's like it was a shock when he passed, and I think people were always wondering, like, did he take his own life?
Yes. Yeah, they were wondering if he was like she was like talking about how if it was an accident or if he was unhappy. And then I think the closure was, I think it was like an accident.
It was an accident.
It was more unexpected.
Yeah, but and he didn't take his own life. It was an accident, and I think that in itself gave the family closure, which at the end of the day, I think definitely
some people really like need that.
They need that, and I'm so glad that the medium was able to provide that for that family. So
that was really interesting to like hear, because you don't hear like stories like that often. But like I said, like it's so hard to like find someone that is truth. And I don't know if like reading reviews sometimes like on Yelp is a little difficult, because I can't perceive if,
because at the end of the day, it's a business. So basically, one of my friends, when he was out of college, he was applying for jobs, and one of them was like a data role for a psychic company, like one of those. And I think at the time we were all like, who's paying that kind of money to go see a psychic? Like, is it even a lucrative business? Or I think he might have asked that in his interview. Ooh. And I think they were like,
why are you here? And why am I here?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, is this a lucrative business? Like, are you guys even making money? And what he was told was like, yeah, you'd be surprised. A lot of people pay for psychic readings, and it's a very lucrative business. So, if it helps people, it helps them.
Yeah. And and it does take a lot of like effort too for like these readers, like who are really like legit, because it's a lot of like thoughts, energy, emotion that they're like regulating, especially too for like mediums. Like I've seen like Tyler Henry, like he doesn't like he always says that he doesn't like watch like pop culture and stuff, and he really tries to prioritize his own peace, because if he's like out and about around other people, then he feels like he's always like hearing things, so it's hard for him to like, it's easy for him to be overwhelmed, basically.
I did see something on him recently. Something happened. Let me see if I can look
about him or his family.
I thought it was him, but
it's so interesting, because I think for him, like Tyler Henry, his mom was like adopted, and so and they were like, I hope I'm right about this, but they basically connected her to like her biological parent or something, but they had already passed. Wow,
that's good.
Yeah, and so that's how.
Okay, so this was what it was. He had brain tumor surgery like a couple weeks ago, but apparently it was successful, and now he's in recovery. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it
Yeah,
too, because it's like he's maybe overworking it, or the stress that comes with it, maybe.
Yeah, no, if you guys like look at people who they've said that people who are like psychics or like mediums, there's like a process of the way in their minds that work that is like tapping into something that I don't know if it's really explainable, but maybe something close to it is like, you know, when people do have dreams, and people have done sleep studies on people, and then there's like a certain part of their brain that's being like turned on from the dreams. It's kind of the same brain that is also similar to like people who are like psychics or like mediums. If you really are trying to explain it, but I wouldn't say like there's some like reading, or I mean like really like so much, I don't know, proof about it. Maybe I'm wrong too, and maybe I just need to be more like educated, but there is like what I've seen, like there's a turn that people have like on their brain, and it's also kind of linked to how people do like manifestation and stuff. Like if you guys know what transcendental meditation is, it's kind of like a type of meditation. Some like monks use it too, or just different like religions, but it's a way of like repeating a mantra. And they've done like studies on people who've done transcendental meditation, and the way that their mind works is also similar to the way that the brain works when they're sleeping and dreaming. So there's some like type of energy that's being tapped in that's like really super visual and super like active in the brain. So
you know what? Now that you mention it, I have a friend. I recently caught up with her. We're college friends. We're in the same fraternity. Hadn't seen her since I graduated. Like, it's been over a decade. I recently got lunch with her, but I think she's back in China right now to do like a meditation retreat. And she's done it before too. Some of these are like a month long, and you're just like in these retreats, and all you can do is meditate from morning to night. And you're not allowed to talk to anyone. You're not allowed to make eye contact with anyone. You're supposed to just focus on your meditation. So I was always saying, like, maybe it'd be cool to have her on the podcast one day
that'd be sick,
to talk about that, because I don't really know anyone who does that. And you know, she always says like meditating is very powerful. And now that you mentioned this, I was like, oh, it seems to be related.
There is, like, I wish I could give you guys like more answers on like what the actual like scientific stuff about it is, but there is like a really good benefit when you like do meditation. And if you think about it, like if you're a visual learner, like when you meditate, you're basically calming your nervous system down. You're like limiting like the blockages in your brain from being like overstimulated and stuff. And that's why they always say meditation is really good for anxiety, or when you're feeling overwhelmed, or even when you're stressed, you're trying to like calm your energy down. And then that's where all like the miracles happen, you know, where they're really like visualizing, calming their mind, brain. Everything comes good when you're kind of at peace. So yes. Yeah, maybe we'll just have more people like like meditation and stuff, and more on like psychic. I feel like that's what I really want. I really want to go to a psychic. Should we just
hire a psychic to
come on the pod, or like
and give us readings in real time?
Oh my gosh, yeah, like you can call in to our podcast and get a reading. That's actually kind of sick. Yeah, because I feel like it's just nice to hear like some guidance when you feel a little lost. But yeah, and you know, have you ever tried doing your own reading before, or no? I was so
I don't want to mess it up.
I mean, like, I feel like I'm not very good at like reading like the cards and stuff, because I'm not very like familiar with tarot cards and like what their actual meaning is. I could kind of remember a couple things, but I literally bought like a tarot deck, but I only bought it because I really like the art on it. It's like these anime chibi looking cutesy one. It's very cute, and I don't really open it though, because I'm like, I don't think I know how to read this very well. But if things are meant to be and come into your future, then it's gonna be, you know.
Yeah, what's meant for you won't pass you by. So
wait, this is so random, but I just remembered this one. So one of my friends, their mom is very like intuitive, and I remember she did like a reading like on me and then someone that I was like talking to, and then I remember her saying like reading our aura, and she was like, you guys are like like green. You guys are like, that means like it's good energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then I remember like talking to her after like things didn't like work out with like this person, like to that like that mom, and she was like, you know, like back then when I had initially told you guys about your like auras, I was like, oh, I definitely saw that there was something really loving and caring there. But then she said that in my aura, I don't know if it was like orange or red or something, but she said that that was also one of the colors that was kind of like coming up to her. And when she was doing our reading, that she felt like the time between us was going to be short term, but she didn't like tell me that initially. That's so funny. I just remembered that.
Because it's something so negative. She probably
she probably didn't. And obviously she can't be like, you don't know what's going to happen. And if you say, oh, I don't think it's going to work out, then obviously we could just like
stop being
friends right then and there. But I remember her telling me that because I specifically called her after.
Wait, is this your friend's mom?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's really chill. And it's funny because like this friend, like we're friends, but we're not like too close or anything. But his mom is like super nice. And I feel like I was really like connecting with her at that time. And so I really appreciated it because I was going through like a hard time, and that was during like COVID and stuff. So it was just a lot of like feelings of like, you know, you're in COVID, and like there's a lot of things going on at school too. So I was like just overwhelmed with that. And so I remember talking to her, and she was really like into it, and she was really like great. So that was just something unlocked in my memory just now. Yeah, it was really, maybe that would be for like another time that we can talk about. But yeah, if you guys have any like thoughts and need help on like tarot readings, I'm not, or
if you've gotten a tarot reading or a psychic reading, I would love to hear in the comments, please. Like, I would love to hear things that have come true for you, if they actually worked for you.
Yes.
I would be so fascinated by that.
Yeah, me too. I feel like there's a greatness to be like surprised about things like coming true, and it's like a good feeling when you find out something good happened. But yeah, if you guys know any tarot reader, let me know, because I want to go, but I just don't know who, because they're all like near Laguna Beach and stuff, and I'm like I don't know.
They like to live near the ocean.
Yeah, no, Laguna Beach, have you been there or not really?
I mean, it's a nice area.
It's a nice area, but they're very like hipster. And then I'm like, everyone likes crystals there. And then I was like,
that makes sense then.
Yeah, and then I was like, but then if everyone likes crystals, is it because you guys are influenced by each other, or like you guys are actually like truth and you see things, or does everyone in that city know how to read like tarot? I feel like there's so many of them, so I need to like figure out who the right one is.
Find the legit one. It's like in New Orleans, everyone knows on the street reading tarot.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I need to know who it is.
Go find the one that's worked with police.
I know,
it's worked for me.
Yeah,
so
that's wild that she worked with like police. That's cool, because some like even for the Tyler Henry stuff, like they I think they were trying to figure out a reading with someone who was like missing, but they didn't know if they were missing like and they were still alive, or if they had passed. And then I remember when they were talking, that person had passed, but it was like they were leaving for a time and they purposely were missing for some reason, and then they realized that or something had happened to them, but they weren't able to contact or reach whoever Tyler Henry was reading. So yeah, but then from that person, they didn't know if they were alive or not, basically. So that gave them clarity on its own, knowing that, okay, were they struggling? They weren't struggling, but something had happened to them, and it was like an accident, and they couldn't be reached and stuff. So yeah, there's some interesting stories.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, anyways, hopefully you guys like enjoyed like this little episode about us talking about tarot readings and psychic readings and like actually not that much manifestation. That's another episode that we still need to like talk about. But you know where to find us. We're on Instagram and TikTok at justonebitepod, and we release episodes every Tuesday on YouTube and Spotify. But yeah, hopefully you guys tune in next week, and we'll keep you updated.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll see you guys later. Bye.